Good day and welcome to the Couch Coach. I'm your host Fazil Jacobs. In studio today we have, I think you could say, a typical soccer mom in Farida Davids and Shariq Davids, who's a phenomenal young man, and what a story to share with you tonight. Firstly, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Farida, let's start with Shariq, how it came about that he's become this phenomenal sports person that we're going to touch on in a bit.
Okay, yes, I think we basically have to start right from the beginning. I mean, he's always been an energetic boy growing up. So the easiest thing was just to get all the sport, get him to do all the sport. So to plunge his energy into sport. Yeah, he took to cricket in the early years of schooling. Karate, he initially didn't want to do it, as his brother did it. I think at the age of 6 he decided, okay, I'll do karate. And then there's the mini rugby that he did, tried out some soccer, hockey as well. And as the years progressed, he eliminated some of those sports and kept some of it. But yeah, it's due to all the energy. It stemmed all from there.
From there.
Yeah.
And Shariq, so what are the sports that you're playing now?
I currently do rugby, athletics, soccer, cricket and hockey.
Full of energy. Pure result battery. And you say athletics. What disciplines in athletics is it that you do?
I do 100 meter sprints and 200 meter, 400 also.
So you're a back in rugby.
And long jump. Yes, I used to do high jump, but I had previously injured my ACL, my ACL.
Okay.
Yes.
And I believe you have aspirations to become a biokineticist.
Yes, I do.
Awesome. And I see you are at Bishop's. So how did that come about, Mom?
Well, during, I think it was in his under 12 trials, he was selected to go for trials in his rugby. And while he was, as the schools normally send out some scouts, one of the scouts approached him during one of his off times, interval sessions, and he asked him about where is his parents, and he came around to me and he asked me if we have applied at any schools for Shariq for the next year. And I said we did, and if we would be interested, because then he obviously introduced himself, and he said he's from Bishop's, and if I've applied at Bishop's, and I said no, I didn't, and if we would be interested, and I said of course we would like to, and yes, and it all stemmed from there. I had to fill in the application form, and they called him in after a couple of interviews, and they had the proposal ready for us.
Wow.
You know, he was accepted at Bishop's.
So I believe it was for both the academics and the sporting side.
Yes.
So you're a bit of a bookworm nerd too.
Yes.
So I mean, I think that in its own is it's pretty amazing, because you don't often find or hear about the youngsters in our communities out there that have this sort of an opportunity.
Yes.
So if you had a message for any of the youngsters watching there, what would that be to them?
I mean, I would just like to say to all the youngsters out there, don't stay indoors, rather get involved in your community. Sports is always like, I always fall back on sports. For me, that's what I enjoy. And I mean, like, yeah, just don't do like drugs and stuff like that. Just stay away from that. Yeah.
Okay, and I also believe you've got this long list of achievements.
Yes.
In your sport. You want to share some of these with us?
Yes, it started in 2013 when my first nationals for karate. I went to Durban for SA champs, and I fortunately won a gold medal there.
Wow.
And then the next year I was injured as I played soccer. I tore my ACL, and then the next year I trained again, went back into it, and then 2015 I retook my title for again karate.
Nice.
I won gold again, and then so for 2016, 17, 18 I won a silver, fell short in the final, and then 19 again a gold.
Nice.
Yes.
You're gonna beat me up. And any other achievements in any of your other disciplines?
Under 12 rugby, I also got a Western Province, got my Western Province colours for rugby. Yes, that's all.
Okay, so I think a lot of this also stems down from the support that they're getting, he's getting from home.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's firstly, parents should encourage their children to do sport, and I felt with him especially, it balanced him, academically, as well as on all levels, getting involved in sport, because of the energy. It was actually a strain for him to sit still behind books only. So, putting some training into it, doing some sport, it helped him a lot. Getting him to sit still in front of those books. And support is important, extremely important. I think with the parents, and I think it's evident and it's been proven that, with the parent support, children prosper. And I can say I haven't missed any of his rugby matches,
Awesome.
his karate games. I've just stopped everything and I've been there,
That's awesome.
with whenever he's needs to be at training, he needs his game time, etc. I've just been there to support him, encourage and assist him.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shariq, I believe that you're now staying at the lodge.
The hostel, yeah.
At the hostel.
Yeah.
Why am I calling it the lodge? You're staying at the hostel and you
Yes.
go home weekends.
Yes, weekends.
Don't you miss mommy's cooking?
Not really. At first, yes, I did. But I mean, like I say, the food is halal and it's actually nice, like to try something different than other than my mom's food that I'm used to. But yes, yeah.
And your friends?
Friends, yes, I actually missed them the first few weeks of high school, and then afterwards, I got more involved in obviously my sport, and my friends, my new friends now currently obviously oversaw me during my athletics, running, and then afterwards I just had a chat with them, and then afterwards I started to feel more welcome at the school.
And
yeah,
how long are you there now?
2 years.
2 years.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And I believe you've got a couple of big things coming up on the horizon.
Yes, I have currently been selected to go to Chile in October for karate.
Okay.
Yes.
And what tournament is this? Can you tell us a little bit about the tournament?
It's a World Champs, also held in Chile, in Santiago. Yeah.
Okay. Folks, we gotta pay some bills right now. Check back with us in a few moments and we're going to hear more about this competition in Chile. Thank you for watching. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the Couch Coach. I'm your host Fazal Jacobs, and in studio we've got the soccer mom Farida Davids and the wonder boy Shariq. Before the break, Shariq, you were telling us about Chile.
Yes.
But I also believe you've been to Croatia.
Yes.
Also representing South Africa in karate.
Yes. So Croatia was in 2016 for the Youth Cup, and there were about 300 plus kids in my category and weight. Fortunately, I made it to the bronze medalist, and then unfortunately I lost in the repechage, and then overall I placed 9th in the world.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And you have the opportunity to go back there along with Chile?
Yes, I had the opportunity. It was either Croatia again or Chile for the World Cup, and obviously took Chile with both my hands, obviously. Yeah.
Mom, from a financial point of view, I believe that a lot of these events, it's self-funded.
Yes.
Attending these events are self-funded.
Unfortunately so, yes. With 2016 he was selected for Croatia. We obviously on our own, we raised some funds. We've approached people, sent out letters. You just send it out randomly and see, whoever comes along. Yeah. We did that in 2016 and fortunately we could send him off. This year he came up for selection again to go to Croatia, and we didn't send him because, you know, finances was low, and we somehow knew that he was going to be selected for the World Champs as well. And this was the opportunity where we were going to reach out to people and ask to fund and assist him. So yes, he's been selected. There's you've self-funded, so that means the athlete needs to raise the funds, and we've sent out letters again, appealing, asking people. We're also running some small fundraisers, you know, selling the boerewors and the sisters and stuff like that. We're having a karaoke coming up just to get some funds in.
Does he sing also?
No, that's one thing he doesn't. He won't sing. Yeah, so from our side, yes, we try to do all the little bits just to bring up the amount. The cost is set at 43,600 rand, and that is without the transportation, the flights from Cape Town to Johannesburg, and also tournament fees excluded, as well as obviously his lunches and spending money. So yeah, we're probably looking at 50,000 for the trip to the World Champs, which will happen on the 23rd to the 27th of October this year.
Okay, so that's pretty much Omidrai.
Omidrai, exactly.
And why do you want to attend this so badly?
I mean, this opportunity comes once in a lifetime, and I would like to also to travel the world. So I always told my mom if she could come with me, but unfortunately in this case she can't with the funds, obviously. But yes, I would like to travel the world, inshallah.
And I mean, I think that's why a lot of people get into sport these days.
Yes.
And you're thriving at it by
Yes.
the sounds of things.
Yes,
So it's Western Province Rugby,
yes,
and it's representing SA in karate.
karate, yes.
Amazing, right? So how, if people want to get involved in terms of supporting you and getting involved in sponsoring, how can they do that?
Well, they can either contact me. I'll obviously leave all my details with you, and also give the banking details if they want to do any sponsors for Shariq's trips or
Do you
transport.
want to say your cell phone number, and then Jam can have it come up on the screen?
Yes, they can contact me. My cell phone number is 072 5088 420. And yes, and I'll send them obviously all the details. We normally give his banking details,
Okay.
and then all the funds can go in there.
Okay, so we'll put the banking details up on the screen right about here.
Okay.
Shariq, so you make it to Chile. You do well in that tournament. I'm hoping, and by the sounds of it, you will. What will be next for you?
I'm not actually sure what will be next, but I take it as it comes. Like, I'm obviously going to keep training, doing all my work, obviously, keeping up with academics, and yeah, and rugby, obviously, yeah.
Okay, and then in as a final word, I mean, if we can have that from the both of you, to parents out there with children that show promise, and finding the support for them, and then from you to children out there in terms of chasing their dreams. If we can start with Farida.
Okay, yeah, I believe parents must support their children, encourage them, you know, because I think our children are housebound, and with crime going around, we keep them in there, but children need to be there for their kids and take them, because I know it's hectic for parents, you know, with kids doing sport, and it's normally after hours, and the parents are not there, there's carers, and you know, they travel by taxi, etc. So I would suggest parents get somebody to take the children, you know, leave them at school, let them do the sport, let them do the running, the athletics or whatever, but get them involved in sport. It balances their lives, it keeps them away from the TV, it keeps them away from the cell phone, the games, and idle minds, you know. And be there and support them. Try and be at every game, encourage them, because with the parent support, the child will feel and they'll excel. They will feel they want to improve, they will want to do.
Sure. Awesome.
Their parents proud.
Thank you so much. And Shariq?
Yeah, I believe do what you fancy, do whatever you're capable of, and going further and stuff like that. I mean, yeah. So I mean,
Any messages to girlfriends out there?
no girlfriends.
All the best, young man.
Thank you.
And please keep in touch. Let us know how it went, and it will be amazing to do a follow-up.
Thank you, will do.
Thank you so much out there. We've got some surprise guests after the break. Welcome back to the Couch Coach. And after we had our green and gold whiskey Shariq, we've got guys with another sort of green and another lot of gears, shall we say. Welcome to the studio, Sumaya and
Hi.
Leon from the Nantes Athletic Club.
Thanks, Faisal.
Thank you, Faisal.
So yes, welcome to the show, and you're here to tell us all about your race that's happening come Tuesday.
Yes, very excited about it. We're expecting a huge turnout on the day because it's Heritage Day, Pride Day, even more so, even more reason to bring out the family, etc. And it's also a new event for us. It's moved now from April to September, which is in spring, and also we want to get all those couch potatoes out.
Off the couch.
Off the couch, in essence, coming. So I want to make it a huge family success as well.
Okay, so what is the race called, Maya?
It's called the Nantes Athletic Unity Race, one race, many legacies.
Okay.
I think it speaks for itself in our community and being on Heritage Day. So our different cultures in our club and the community just around us, the churches, the schools, the mosques, and just the neighbors on the whole. We would like them to come out and come and join our race.
Awesome. So before we delve into the intricacies of the race and planning such an event, a little bit of history on your club.
The club's been around now for about 5 years, so still in our infancy, growing pains, but lots of good stuff that's come through. Club membership has grown over the years, and we serve the very peripherals of Bridgetown, Silvertown, etc. And from young to old. So we cater for everybody, for walkers, for runners, etc. And then we have something called core work. On a Monday we have that. So we have quite a huge following on that as well. And I mean, it's all free. But besides the people having to pay a very nominal fee for the yearly being a member, etc. The others, there's quite a lot of freebies there.
And Sumaya, any idea plus minus how big your club is? Because I always see a lot of green.
Okay, that I can give you accurately. We are 2 members away from 300.
Wow.
And apart from that's the actual members with licensed runners, then we've also got sort of social runners that just register with the club.
Okay.
So they are basically maybe just your walkers and people just coming to join to socialize. Yes. And we have lots of liquor times.
And so your club is really a sense of community and supporting each other.
Absolutely.
So your race and the shift from what was it, April to September. What prompted that?
Number of things. Every year we've had a clash with our neighbours. Not a clash, but the same time frame. The calendar clash. A's Baseball Club. They normally have a weekend of partying and playing baseball. It's in their calendar, and so we have to share the facility, and it's always been a challenge trying to get our part of that facility. So now we have the whole facility to ourselves, and they're supporting us as well in this initiative. So we're actually using some of their part of their facility for registration as well. So it's worked out well for everybody. Yeah,
that's awesome. So just a little bit so people have an understanding and can appreciate, because I believe there's quite a lot of logistics behind organizing a race, and with it being on a public holiday in the middle of the week as well, I suppose it's more.
Sure, I think it's becoming more difficult in terms of not only logistics, but the compliance side from the city of Cape Town to run any event is a huge amount of compliance around safety, security, noise, and then you need to get the councillor buy-in as well. The neighbours themselves need to also be signing for that they approve it. The road closures, traffic management needs to approve it. Emergency services need to be on board. And we need all that documentation in place before we'll get a permit to host the event.
Wow.
So that in itself, that's besides the actual manpower. We probably use about between 250 to 300 people on the day to host the race.
So I think it's fair to say, so Mayor, we can expect a well-organized event here?
Absolutely. We've got no more family life, so yes, we should have a one.
So what can we expect on the day? The distances that's available to
We've
run?
got a 10-kilometer run, then we've got a 10-kilometer league walk,
Okay,
and then we've got a 5-kilometer fun run.
okay.
Yeah, those are the three.
And how do people register for the
We've
event?
got various forms that you can register. We've got the web tickets up. And then we target certain malls, also our Vangate Mall. You can find out at Elite Warehouse. We go to various clubs. And then we have registration at our own club on training nights, as well as on the day and the night before the race. So
Okay.
you can register
So
from half past 5 until the race starts.
So for those who don't know, where can they find your club to come and register?
We are at the Vangate Sports Complex in
Okay.
Bridgetown. It's adjacent to Vangate Mall.
Right, right next to Vangate Mall. So apart from running the streets of Bridgetown, what can we expect at the venue on Tuesday?
You can expect entertainment. There's always entertainment with Nantes.
Food.
And there's vendors, yeah. There's vendors, and I'm sure we've got some surprises lined up in form of entertainment for people to attend.
So let's get this straight. So people can register on the day
Correct.
or the day before.
That's
We
right.
can find you at
Vangate,
Vangate Malls.
yes.
And then you mentioned another store?
Elite Warehouse and the Sweatshop in Claremont.
Okay. When is your cutoff for online entries at WebTicket?
That is on the 22nd.
On the 22nd. Okay. So we've got 2 minutes left. Any message for the runners out there?
Well, we have got a record to be broken, which we've got an incentive for 1,500 Rand.
Wow.
So if you can beat 30 minutes, hasn't been done before, to come out. Our route is nice and flat, fast and flat. So I'm hoping it is possible to break that record.
And then I believe there's another little incentive here.
The biggest bus.
Groot
And
bus.
that thing just went out last night, this morning. I think you might have seen it on social media. Lots of excitement around that from our sister clubs as well, and some of them have just advised me on some of the rules we should ensure is set up front, which we appreciate. That there's because that is something that's very contentious when it comes to counting people and the rules around that, because they take that very seriously. And we also have a lot of lovely, huge prizes as well. And besides the amount, I'll mention one name that we have there on the day, a guy called Jared Ricketts. You know him locally, he's going to be there.
Awesome.
There's going to be some other big entertainment, including some of our sponsors in terms of boot camp people. So there's going to be something for everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for your time.
Pleasure.
All the best.
Absolute
And
pleasure.
I'm
Thank
sure
you.
I will see you
And
next
thank
Tuesday.
you.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I'll give you a free entry as well if you want to come, even if you do the 5K.
I like the sounds of that. We'll be in
Okay.
touch. Thank you so much
Definitely.
for joining us.
Pleasure.
For those out there watching, please come and support this amazing local initiative. We're not done yet. After the break, we've got that ball-headed guy to give us a little bit of a lowdown on the rugby laws. Stay tuned for Don't Spell the Ref. We welcome you back to the studio after that amazing segment with our EFC champ Faiz Jacobs. And we have our famous ball-headed ref. Welcome to the studio, Zaid.
Thanks, Coach.
So I believe today you're going to teach us how to take advantage on the rugby field.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a grey area to some, but I think that's where we're going to try and clarify some things for people.
I'm kind of hoping, and I did allude to this in one of our previous episodes, but it would be great, really, really great, and I'm sure the viewers out there would be interested too, but you get advantage play going for 30 seconds, and then you get a game for 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
we'll be schooled.
Yeah, so it is, ultimately it's the interpretation of the ref. Okay, he deems if a team has gained an advantage. Okay. However, before we get into the nitty-gritty, so just basically the advantage, ultimately a definition, if I can call it as such, it's when a team infringes and the opposition, the referee allows the opposition to play, just to get the flowing of the game going. Yeah, that type of thing. So when it comes to advantage, there's about four, if I can call it, four facets or four rules, if you want to call it as such. So advantage can be tactical and the non-offending team. So let's use an example, you knock on. Let's call it the All Blacks. They knock on. And yeah, I'm the non-offending player or team. So I've got the option, I'm free to play the ball any way I feel fit. So it can be forward, can be back, can be sideways. It doesn't matter. But, I've got that opportunity which the referee allows you. And then, so the first one is tactical. Second one will be territorial. So play has moved forward towards the offending team's dead ball line. So I'm moving towards the try line where I score my points or my try at. It can also be a combination of the two. It can be tactical and territorial, a bit sideways, forwards type of thing, again, the referee deems. And this ultimately, the next point is coming back to your point. It needs to be clear and real. So it can be sideways, but they're going, again, that's tactical, but they're not gaining momentum, okay? It can be forward, but there's no real advantage, that they have kind of established. So that's ultimately the four. So it's tactical, territorial, a combination of the two, and it must be clear and real. So they can go forward 2 meters or they can go forward 10 meters and the referee feels now they haven't gained any, come back for the initial infringement. So advantage, we've indicated what it entails. Advantage ends. So advantage ends when the referees deem the non-offending team has gained benefit or an advantage out of the play. The referee will then allow play to continue. You'll generally hear on the mics advantage over or play on, that type of thing. And that's generally when that happens. Yes, you're picking up there. And a referee deems that non-offending team is unlikely to gain advantage, or when he has deemed that they're unlikely to gain an advantage, he will stop the game or blow the whistle, and he'll come back for the initial infringement. Irrespective.
So that's at the point where the infringement
Correct, yeah.
happens.
Yeah, correct. That's generally where it comes from. Then the next point will be when a non-offending team commits an infringement before they've gained an advantage. Let's use our initial example again. You knock on the ball. In my attempt to gain advantage, I move the ball one pass to my right, 1 meter. That player fumbles again, another knock on. So there's no advantage gained. We come back for the initial infringement, which was the knock on by yourself. So therefore, scrum to me. There we go. We're getting there. And then the fourth one is when the offending team commits a second or a subsequent infringement, and from which no advantage is gained. The referee will stop the play, and he allows the non-offending captain to choose the most advantageous of the areas. Let's use an example again. The knock-on happens there. 2 passes later, there's a high tackle. Okay, they hypothetically to your right, so he gives you the advantage. However, with a penalty, we go for the penalty. It's more advantageous because now it would kick out or it kick towards the poles, that type of thing. So that is when advantage would end. Okay, and then the last point on the advantage is when it cannot be applied. Okay, so the first thing is when the play in position, the ball or the play in position touches the referee, and another team or either of the 2 teams benefits out of that. So let's say there's a ruck, something happens there, and the ball comes, they pass it and it hits me as the referee. Then bounces. Yeah, don't scold the referee. It bounces and it goes directly into another player and he attempts to go and score a try. He's gained advantage. I've basically just impeded in his space, so therefore you can't play advantage there. You come back to the initial infringement there. Okay, and then at a scrum, when the scrum feeds the scrum at the tunnel, so if the ball comes out directly at either end of the tunnel, so I feed it, the ball comes straight out, or it goes right through without anyone touching it, goes out on the other side, you can't play advantage. You need to come back for a reset of the scrum. And then also at a scrum, when it wheels, as they say, it moves more than 90 degrees, okay, you will reset the scrum. There's no advantage, come back for that. Yeah, you need a geometry degree, maths, higher grade. Yeah, and then in a scrum, when a player is lifted or forced upwards, so that the player is no longer in contact with the ground. Safety first is always our priority. So you would just reset, and you would come in and start over with the scrum, for example. A quick throw, at the line out. Yeah. When you allow it, you can't gain benefit out of that. So you come back, a free kick, or where a penalty, where those 3 aspects, quick throw, penalty or free kick, is taken incorrectly, a team can't gain advantage out of it. You come back for the initial infringement. Okay, and then when a ball is made dead, in the dead ball line, it goes over, that type of thing. And then 2 more things is when it's dangerous for play to continue. Let's say there's an injury, hypothetically, and the ball is close by, and another ruck forms, that you're putting that other player that's laying there on the ground one side is at the risk, so you come back. And then also when it's suspected that there is a serious injury, let's use a head knock, for example, which is obviously a no-no at the moment. Player safety is again paramount. So that is the last aspect when you don't award advantage. Yeah, and that's about it when it comes to advantage.
Thank you so much. Guys, if you have any questions for the ref, please feel free to leave a comment on the post or email us at couchcoachcpt@gmail.com. Thank you so much again, Mr. Ref.
Pleasure, Coach.
We've been schooled, and we look forward to seeing you next week. The viewers out there, thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you next week on the Couch Coach.